Oh, looks like somebody decided to join me after all. Alrighty. Well, I'm gonna have to set the camera down real quick so I can get this plugged into the cigarette lighter right chair. Alright, Ted just left. Apparently he doesn't like radios. Alright, so the PL259, I just screwed that on there. This is keywayed. I don't know if you can see that or not. So that's only gonna go in one way. And I gotta grab my microphone. Whoops, just chucked my microphone on the floor. I'm gonna stick that right there for right now. And I'm gonna get my microphone up off the floor, which is probably why we have a mic holder for the dash. Yep. I should probably be using my tripod instead of just... Never mind. Alright, which way does this go? That's a strange little setup. Looks like you gotta fish the boot in around the corners after you get that thing in. Alright, I'm gonna do that, and then I'm gonna peel that stupid plastic off. Alright, so the radio connector's in. Now I'll just feed the boot in. So that's basically just like a phone plug. It clicks in there. If you ever gotta get it back out, I'm not really sure what you have to do with that. That ought to be fun. Alright, took a couple seconds. I just had to stuff it in around the side with a screwdriver. It's in there now though. Alrighty, I'm gonna take my plastic off. There's a little rip tab on here. Too bad I didn't have fingernails. I'll never get that. Oh, I got it. Nice. Okay. All right, that's confidence inspiring. All right. 22. It was upside down. All right, so I want to get a 22, and what's the... Let's see what the code is on my radios here. Oh. 121 and no code. Because you can set them with safety and security codes. Check 1, 2. Okay, you couldn't hear that, but it's on. All right, let's see. Whoops. So I think that's the volume. Check 1, 2. Mic check. Could be the volume. I don't really know. I probably should have gone through and taken the time to read the instructions. So now I'm going to see if it'll talk back to this. We'll have some fun with this. Oh, I'll just take this. I'll stick this on my phone here. So I can at least stand this up. Turn this radio up a little bit. And we'll bring you over here. Check. Radio check. Check 1, 2. Well, alrighty. So that looks pretty good so far. Got that thing up and running. Literally did not read the manual or anything. So even though I've probably done things wrong, I can take this fresh out of the box and get it going. So it's a nice, easy radio to set up. I like to see if I can set these up fresh out of the box without any kind of interference at all. because that way at least it gives you an idea of how user-friendly it's going to be later on. The volume thing's a little odd. Would have been kind of cool to, because like I could see how you could accidentally whack your channels instead. That could kind of suck, but other than that, that's not too bad. And I'll have to figure out how to set the security codes on there too. I don't generally do that because where we live, we're pretty far out there. So I don't have to worry about too much skip or people messing with you on the radio. The CB radio days are kind of gone anyways. All right. I'm pretty happy so far. I'll let you know how it goes once I hook the one up in the tractor too. Well, here's an interesting little side note on the RTV900. The cigarette lighter in there is live. I thought that it went off with the ignition key, so I had the ignition on. And when I turn it off, the radio's still on. So yeah, I guess I'll be wiring that directly to ignition source. Good to know. Okay, so the answer to flipping the display is in the manual. So good. This is also the teeny tiniest manual I've ever seen. You can make that, that's a small book. But it's got all the information in it and everything you need and nothing you don't. Except that. You don't really need that. Alright, this looks pretty clustery at the moment, but trust me, there's a method to the madness. I just pulled this thing out. This is just my cover. So I just pulled that out just so I'd have access back here. So this right here is just my antenna. I've just stuck it there for right now. I haven't exactly decided where it's going to go. Obviously, it's going to go on the outside of the bus. But one of the things I am looking at now is, you can see the little outline that I've got drawn around where the antenna is. As you can see how there's just a little teeny tiny bit of tension here. I don't want any of that. And I also want these wires to go through here. So I'm doing a half circle here and the other half of the circle up on top. So when you look at it from the front, you won't see anything. All those wires will be completely hidden. So all this stuff will be gone. And all you'll see is the radio there. And then with the radio, I'm probably gonna see where it sits best. I gotta weigh this out because I'm not really sure. Here'd be okay, here'd be okay. I want to be able to reach it while in the driver's seat, so I'm gonna have to think about that, but that's not something that I have to do immediately for right now. Just throw it right in a cup holder. That would be fine, but I do need to get a hole drilled through there, and I want to be careful because this is an acrylic surround, so I'm gonna have to be real gentle when I'm doing. Otherwise, it's just gonna go. Whoosh, gonna have a huge mess. So I'll probably do the Dremel. All right, so where's my piece of wire here? I don't know what I did with it. Anyways. I cut the cigarette lighter thing off, located a set of wires that was being unused. I don't even know what this is for, but seeing as I didn't have anything connected to it, I guess I didn't need it. So I cut the two wires out of there. It's a confirmed hot while ignition's on and a confirmed ground. And then I hooked those up to the radio wire. I left the fuse in there. Another nifty thing is there is a spare fuse, so that's kind of handy. I will cinch these guys back up and I will stuff them in down here. You can see I got that great big gaping hole, but you really can't see it from up top, so it doesn't matter that much. So when I turn the ignition on, the radio comes on. And then it's, let's see here, if I hold down the speaker button for a second.
Miles per hour, becoming east after midnight. Wednesday, partly sunny.
So it's got a weather radio on there. I'm still working this out. I think that's going to get stuck over here. That way I can still see. So if I was going to put it over here, then I realized you wouldn't be able to see that anymore, which would be not great. So let's see where my glow plug one is. So I gotta remember to put it far enough so I can see that from over on the other side. All right, good. My heat gun is cooled down enough. See, I soldered my connections, heat shrink tubed them, they're fine. This one here, I'm just gonna leave it in there. I don't even know what that is. I couldn't get hot from it with ignition on, and I couldn't get hot from it with ignition off, and it doesn't ground. So the only thing I'm thinking is maybe it's a sensor for when it's when the engine's on and running, but I don't really care enough to try it because I don't care. All right, so I'm gonna get on the other side and see where I can get the handpiece, so then I can get that mounted. But anyways, this is mounted. I ended up running the wire right inside here. I've got it in a spool. I didn't know what else to do with it. We've got enough wire to go about 13 miles. It's crazy. So let's see. So that's the wires it comes through. And then I sent it over here behind this panel, right out there. This is metal. That's about the only metal piece that's on here. The rest of it's all fiberglass. I thought about putting it up on here, but it rocked and it wasn't getting a real good surface connection. What I may do, I may weld that on there, and then I'll have a solid place to put that, and it won't be in my view or anything like that. I don't want to put it too far out because then, like, this is a brush guard. This is here for brush. If it was here, it's going to be relatively safe. If it's out there, it's going to be trouble. Right there, it should be okay. I've had branches come in and get me before, but this is magnetic, so worst case scenario, it'll just pop off on its own. Alrighty, look up on here, but with the piece on there, this would smack right into that. So I think over here is going to be the spot, because I can put it there and then not have it block the glow plug light. So we'll see. It's double stick tape, and then there's also screws in here. So if I want to screw it down, I suppose I could put the screws all the way through. Depends on how this is set up. I'm gonna have to look at that. I don't really know. But anyways, I'm gonna try the double stick Ratchogi. We'll see how that goes. It's just kind of a reach. Like if I gotta reach for the radio, it kind of sucks to go way over there. I had thought about mounting the radio over here, but then I didn't have the clearance to put the wires and things down in here because we got the heater, and we got the heater lines here, and you know, your knees are too close to this stuff to. So yeah, there's a lot of scenarios of where this won't work, and yeah, that's it. I'm making a command decision. Okay, so I turn this on, got that, and I can reach that fine. So that's gonna do the trick. I can probably send this down that way in case I want to keep this line over this way more. Doesn't really matter, I can figure that out as long as I can get it over here where the driver's operating. Okay, I'm going to put that cover back in and stuff these wires back up inside and consider this over.